I start talking.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city.
Yeah, there ain't no love in the heart of the city, and you know it. That's the Bobby Blue Band, and Ain't No Heart in the Heart of the City from the Lincoln Lawyer movie. And I'm Ralph Williams. It's great to be here tonight for The Way We See It, 2-hour special with me, Ralph Williams, Bill Cannata by telephone tonight. It's great to have Bill back with us tonight here on The Way We See It. All right, when we come back here in a second here, just give me a minute here. I had to do something here with a piece of equipment. All right. Bill, welcome to the program. It's great to have you back.
Brother, it's good to be back. All the viewers, all listeners, hey, what's going on? Sorry you don't get to see this handsome face tonight, but, by a phone will be okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know it. Oh, yeah.
Always good to be back, brother. Absolutely. Missed you guys.
Oh, yeah. And I got a bunch of emails. People missed you as well. So, that's a good thing there. All right, Bill, let's get started here with our studio sponsor, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-2010-500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning is our studio sponsor. So throughout the night, we'll be announcing about Mata as 724-2010-500. You ought to call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. And please don't forget this Saturday and every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m., the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudio Rosano, and Luther Dupree on 1250 AM, 92.5 FM, The Answer. This show is taking off big time. We are getting big time feedback. This show is really going to move the sports talk show world. And then don't forget this Saturday, the debut, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. of the Ralph Williams Show on 1250 AM, 92.5 FM, The Answer. And my guest will be Jake Hauk from the Allegheny Institute of Public Policy. We're going to talk about Pittsburgh Public Schools, Allegheny County's budget in the city of Pittsburgh and what's been going on with them. Then right afterwards, immediately following Jake Hauk, I'm going to have Tony Moreno on with me. Tony Moreno is the Republican candidate who ran against Ed Gainey in the last mayoral election, and he's going to come on. We're going to talk about the Larry Sherrod debacle and a whole lot more with Tony Moreno, and that will be this Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the debut of the Ralph Williams Show, and we're going to make this explode as well throughout all over Western Pennsylvania, state of Pennsylvania, and all across the country, as we normally do with everything else we do here with RW Media Productions. All right, Bill, here's our Chinese wisdom today. Apply yourself. Hold on here. I can't even see this real well here because of my eyes again. Hold on a minute. There we go.
Take your time, brother. Adjust those little pupils and get rolling, man.
Yeah, I got it. Apply yourself to the basics, and progress will follow. Apply yourself to the basics, and progress will follow. All right. That is tonight our Chinese wisdom for you tonight as well. Brought to you by Bon Journey. November 16th, Bon Journey will be performing at the 31 Bar in Bridgeville. Those of you who don't know where that is, it's right on Washington Pike, and it's owned by former Penguin goalie Ken Reckett. So why don't you head on down there, 8 o'clock start time, Bon Journey, November 16th, the 31 Bar down in Bridgeville. And then Wednesday, November 27th, the night before Thanksgiving concert special, Jurgles, Rhythm and Brews, Bon Journey. Start time is 8 o'clock. Please get there early to get a table, as I've mentioned many times, and some of these venues that they perform in are all standing room only. So get there early, get a table, get there early, get up front if that's what you want to do. It's first come, first serve. And so make sure that you get there early so you can get a table at Jurgles. And then also don't forget about the 31 Bar as well. All right, Bill, let's get started with our blast segment, man. And we got some blast segment here. Mayor Gainey's administration. I'm blasting them 2 times here tonight, Bill. And let me tell you why I'm blasting them 2 times. First, I'm blasting them for the Larry Sherrod debacle with the police chief. That's the first thing. The second thing I'm blasting them about tonight is their relationship with city council. He has not spoken, Ed Gainey, to city council in the course of 1 year. So, Mayor Gainey, you get a double blast tonight in your administration. All right, let's see.
Brother Ed, what are you doing, Brother Ed?
I know. It's really sad. All right, the teacher, the Pittsburgh public school teacher who lives in Mount Lebanon, who was handing out candy, decided to take a debate amongst kids as to who would they vote for if they could vote. So she asked this 13-year-old girl, who would you vote for? She said Donald Trump. You know what she said? Come back next year when you're raped. I'm blasting you tonight for doing that. This Pittsburgh public school teacher. So, all right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I want to blast PennDOT tonight for shutting down all the construction. All right, just back it up. Just keep on backing it up because of these rallies. You shut down construction. Keep on backing it up. For a UPMC, a former UPMC doctor who decided to illegally hand out prescriptions to her boyfriend and several friends. I'm blasting you tonight for doing that because you got these people sick. And what happened was you gave them too much, got them sick, and I think one guy died. So you know what? I'm blasting you tonight for doing that. The gunshots fired at the trick-or-treaters in Tarentum. I'm blasting whoever did that. You know what? Trick-or-treat's a fun activity for kids. Every year for Halloween, they give out candy. And then to have violence happen in the small little town of Tarentum, that's unacceptable to me. All right. Right.
They shot at young kids. Ain't that something else?
Yes, exactly. And it interrupted the trick-or-treaters, Bill. And then they had to have it 2 days later. They had to have trick-or-treat because of it. They had to shut it all down. So, I mean, the Texas pastor who sexually abused a 12-year-old girl. I'm blasting you.
We are off and running with this. What did they do, man? Did they wait for me to come back?
They waited for you to come back. All right. Some more houses. Some more houses in the region with animal neglect. About 4 of them in the last 2 weeks. Blasting you tonight.
Oh my gosh.
The people who complained about the parade in Mount Pleasant. Bill, I don't know if you heard about this. There was a parade in Mount Pleasant. They had a Halloween parade. Now, I'm blasting 2 ends of this because I don't know which end to take on this. Well, you and I are going to have a discussion about this tonight, okay, on our topic session. All right. Now, listen, somebody put a float out there in the Mount Pleasant, PA parade for the Halloween parade.
Okay. All right.
And it had Donald Trump on a golf cart waving. Somebody dressed like Donald Trump waving on a golf cart with Secret Service beside him. And then behind him had somebody dressed like Kamala Harris with her hands chained, and he was pulling her. You get it? Like the ball and chain. You know what I mean? He was pulling her. So everybody's up in arms about this. Churches are up in arms. The people are up in arms about this. But you also have the people who are saying, hey, it was just a Halloween parade. It was a float. It was a little bit of a joke. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And I think that, I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but we'll get them later on in the topic session. But I'm blasting both ends of this because for some people, they think it was just a joke. Other people are saying, hey, you shouldn't have done this. Okay. So I'm blasting both ends of this because I'm giving everybody a fair blast. I'm blasting NBC tonight about a skit that they did on Saturday Night Live and I'm not NBC. I'm blasting the FCC because the FCC director has decided that he wants to fine NBC for a skit they did on Saturday Night Live involving Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. You know what? Stay out of it, FCC. Stay out of it altogether. You try to ruin Howard Stern. Don't try to ruin this kind of fun. All right. So there you are with that. That is our blast segment tonight. We don't have too much boneheaded, Bill, unless you have some stuff because I have you down here tonight for some driving update, and we're going to do a new. So
driving update, man. I mean, it's absolutely insane. It seems like nothing gets any better. You know what I'm saying? So everything is just insane. We're just going to keep it at that. But because of I think the bonehead segment came along with the idiot segment. So here we go. So, it's just one of those things, man. Everything was just mushed together, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Everything was just all pushed into one thing. So you talk about bonehead, they're not. You talk about that kids being fired at in trick or treat. What is the matter with people, man? What is this?
I don't know.
What is it? And just to let you guys know, before we even continue, this is my grandbaby's birthday right now.
Yes.
So we are at.
And I didn't forget tonight, Bill. This show is dedicated to the late Aiden Myers. Okay, so there you go.
Yep.
So
just to let you know, man, he would have been 7, brother.
Because it's his birthday.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, it was a sad situation. It should have never happened like this, but it did. But he's still. You got justice. The guy's in prison, so that's good news.
Yep.
So
yeah,
at least you
no,
got
it's
some
all
justice
good. I
out.
mean, just I know a lot of people don't know what went on, but but we'll discuss that some other time. But my daughter just got here, and she got the cake, and just a little thing, just a little
Right.
get together. That's all for the little guy. It's all.
I
We
don't blame you.
we
Yeah.
appreciate you dedicating the show to the little man.
Yeah, I am. I'm dedicating it to him
And
tonight. So.
but yeah, man, I mean, this is absolutely insane. All this stuff. I didn't expect to hear all that at one time, brother. I really didn't. I mean,
I know. Well, you know what? Sometimes I could be full of surprises. You always say that, So I mean,
yeah, just
I'm
a little
always
bit,
full
bro.
of
Just a little
surprises.
bit.
And then the interesting part about it is you're on the phone, so that's the interesting part about it too.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you guys ain't seeing me. I mean, because I forgot my iPad. Go figure, right? My third wheel, and I forget it, but that's okay. On the phone, we'll be all right. We're all right. I'm here, so we're doing our
That's
thing.
all I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I miss you. I miss the fans. I really did miss you guys. As well as everything else. I'm a DJ, and just a lot of things came over, kind of prioritized with the weddings and so forth. And I know you guys understand, and I thank you for your understanding. And but yes, it's good to be back with you guys. And let's go full throttle, my friend. Let's do this.
All right, the Bonehead segment. Walmart shopper. Now listen to this one. The Walmart shopper who leaves their groceries behind at the self-checkout because they got into a dispute with a Walmart employee.
That's good.
What a boneheaded move that was.
Free groceries for the next person.
Yep, there you go. The 4 people who got arrested for smuggling marijuana at San Diego's airport.
Oh, so now it's from firearms to drugs.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go at the airport, man. Never a dull moment with TSA. Never a dull moment.
Here we go.
Oh, I had a couple when you were gone, man. I had a couple. There was 2 in 1 week. Within the course of 2 days, they had some people trying to bring guns to the airport, and we still lead the nation in that. I cannot believe this. I just can't possibly believe that.
It's unimaginable, brother. I mean, it's unimaginable, but people are still trying to do it and still try to get away with it, man. I mean,
the worst of them all, the 2 worst things of them all was those 2 people who left those pets behind out there last year. Remember that happened? You had that one guy who left that dog out in the cold in the parking lot tied to a pole at the parking lot.
Yes.
And then the woman who had the pet in a baby carriage left it sit there by the floating sidewalk or whatever because she claims the airline told her she couldn't take the dog on her. Well, just put the dog in a kennel. I mean, or something like that. I've done that already. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh
it's
gosh.
ridiculous, man.
I mean, I've done it when my first wife, who's up in heaven with the Lord, her and I would go on trips, and we'd put our dog, if we couldn't get anybody to watch the dog or whatever, we'd put our dog in a kennel or in at the Golden Bone or one of them places. You know what I mean? So, all right.
Oh, I got you.
Let's see here. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. The man who complained about paying a $24 bill for the restaurant, he takes this woman out on a date, and then he complains about having to pay half of the bill because they agreed to split the bill of $24 here. And then when he gets the woman in the car to take her home, he tries to hit on her and have sex.
Oh, my gosh.
After he complained about the bill.
I usually don't have it till mediocre, like a halfway point, maybe 55 or 60. $25.
$24 bill. Hey, we're going to talk about inflation tonight, Bill. I got some news for you about inflation. Wait till you hear some of this stuff I'm hearing that's out there. How high prices are. And we're going to do a new segment here on the show called It Affects Your Health. And what I mean by that is, have you been involved in a situation where, like Bill and I have, where we're having trouble getting doctor's appointments, your dog died because he couldn't get a vet appointment, all kinds of different situations and scenarios. And I've painted a few to you. Like my caregiver can't get a dental appointment. He had to spread out his dental appointment. Bill had trouble getting a dental appointment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's out of control here. This is just unreasonably out of control. And you can't even go to your favorite doctor anymore because a lot of them are getting out of the practice, or they're getting into debt, or the dentists are getting away from it because they have to do all kinds of extra work that they don't want to be doing, and stuff like that. So, all right.
Absolutely.
All right, Bill, let's talk about
a good doctor.
What's that?
Go ahead, brother. I said, when you do find a good doctor, they get so backed up, they start to fall. So yeah.
On our second hour, we're going to start our new segment called "It Affects Your Health." Also, later on, we're going to talk about TGI Fridays filed for bankruptcy, businesses involving entertainment. Wait do you hear this report I got, Bill? Wait do you hear this? Entertainment companies right now, if it involves bowling, arcades, Dave and Buster's, any of those places, movie theaters, 6 months of not making money. Wait do you hear this? You're gonna you're gonna love this. Wait do you hear? And Wendy's is shuttering some stores. We'll talk about that in the second hour as well. But we have plenty of topics to talk about tonight, Bill, and we're gonna get into them extensively here tonight. All right, let's first get started with our topic segment here, and we're gonna do our topic segment tonight. Is brought to you in part by the original Hometown Pizza, Moon Township, 412-264-4444. Call the original Hometown Pizza today. Tell them Ralph Williams sent you. Get takeout, eat in, or delivery in the Moon area. And I got to tell you a little story, Bill, about Moon Township. I was taking George Takei to the airport. You know, from Star Trek. Remember him?
Yeah, you was there. Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, well, I don't know if a lot of the audience knows. I took George Takei to the airport one time, and we're passing the exit, or we're getting ready to get on the highway to the airport, and he goes, "How would you like to tell somebody you live on the moon?" Oh my gosh, it was so funny. But anyway, Moon Township, the original Hometown Pizza. Call them today. Tell them Ralph Williams sent you. You get a discount on your order, eat in, take out, or delivery. All right. Let's get started, Bill. I don't know where you want to start here because we got plenty to talk
Wherever
about.
You want, brother. Wherever you want.
I'll tell you what. We're going to save the best for last. Let's get started with this here first. The city is going to use $600,000. And I say this now, like Eddie Murphy said in Beverly Hills Cop, maybe went $5,000. I'm going to tell you, it's $600,000. $600,000 of relief money from the American Rescue Plan to put up 21 porta potties, or 21 parties in the trailer-like parties all across the city in Oakland, North Shore, North Side, and downtown. Bill, your thoughts on these parties?
God, yeah, man. Well, you know my thoughts on that, brother. But you know what? At least you'll be taking a dump in a dumpster. You know what I'm saying?
And not out on the street like everybody's been doing downtown.
Absolutely.
Oh,
you
urinating everywhere.
So, hey, you know what? That's taking care of business, brother. 2 for 1. You're set, man.
Remember that party? And I always bring this one up. That one, and it's still over on the south side. They still haven't torn it down yet. That party you had to pay a quarter to get into to use. That one there next to the Burger King. Remember that one? It's still sitting there and they don't even use it. I mean, you pay a quarter, 50 cents to use the bathroom there. Yeah.
My gosh.
$600,000. I say $600,000.
$600,000. Wow. Man. Okay, yeah, there it is. Sound effects all the way,
I had to sound the alarm on that one, man. To put porta potties up. Well, that's the idea of it, actually, is to make sure people don't defecate and walk into businesses and not buy anything and cause problems. So they're going to put them up in Oakland. They're going to put them up in downtown, North Shore, North Side. So,
like I said, you ain't got very far to go, man. You're right there. Everything's done in one shot. And you know what? Here's what's going to happen. Mark my words. A couple years from now, they're going to find people in dumpsters. Right there. They're going to just crawl up in a corner there, take some newspaper, and it's going to be all over.
Oh, I know.
Like, that's it. I took a dump. Now I'm in the dumpster. I'm going to go to sleep now. Bye. That's
man.
it. Now, pretty soon, they're going to start attaching showers to that, brother. Now, just think about that.
Gosh,
my God.
Hey, I got something for you. I went down Dollar General, and they got this new thing from Bulb Head. You know how they have those commercials about Bulb Head, and they have all these different products like the Wonder Broom and all that stuff, right? So they got this new product out, and I bought it, and it's $10. It's not bad. It's not Dollar General. You pick it up for $10. It's called Skunky, all right? And what Skunky is it's 25 cloths, and all you do is pour water on them, and you have an instant sponge bath.
Get the hell out of here.
I kid you not.
Seriously.
I bought a package just to test it, to see what it's about, so I can say what it's about. And you use it on travel. Like if you go to one of your DJ gigs and, you want to get cleaned up, you take a sponge bath. And all you do is put water on it. And the lather builds up in the cloth, and you take a sponge bath. So you get 25 cloths per Skunky package.
Oh my
So
gosh. Hey, you
yeah.
guys might hear other things, but you know, it is my grandbaby's birthday, and my mini mooch is from Florida, and I am on the phone with them right now. So I just want you guys to know, hi, mini mooch.
There you go.
You
Hey,
hear? You hear? So
everybody
hey, you
down in
guys are
Florida
part of
there.
this show tonight. Oh, and bro said, hey, what's going on down in Florida? Yeah, I'm on the.
Get Emily, bro.
Yeah, go get Emily, bro. We need them all on there. I have all my kids. What
Hey,
the hell?
hey, you know
Long
what?
distance.
It's a 2-hour special, so we might as well make part of it the
Hey,
the
man, and you know
Cannatas.
what? That's
You
great.
know?
Having all my kids here. Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Hey Bill.
Get the
Hey
mooch
Bill.
and the mini mooch.
You ought to put on a show. I'll produce it for you called the Cannatas on
Oh
YouTube.
my God, yeah, do it, brother. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Called
Come
the
on.
Cannatas.
The mooch, the mini mooch, and baby girls right here. I got them all. They're all right here. Yeah, brother. Let's go. I don't mean to fly off track, guys, but it's been a while. You get just in case you guys don't know, I have 2 daughters down in Florida that live down there, and then I got one up in here. So, in case you guys don't know, I'm be heading on down there in December, and I won't be back till after the new year.
Yes.
All right.
So, just to let you guys know.
All right. Here, I got something for you, Bill. You ready? Xander
Go
Ornstein
ahead, let's
at
do
it
it.
again.
Oh my gosh.
All right, here we go. Now, here it goes here, everybody. Okay, those of you who don't know, haven't, been on vacation, hiding in the sand, spending time with the Xbox or whatever you're doing, and haven't been watching my shows, Xander Ornstein's in trouble again. All right, and
Okay.
this happened last year. Some guy, Bill, and I don't know if you heard this or not. Some guy was on the Montour Trail out there in Robinson. Okay. And the Coriopolis part of it, more or less. Okay. And he was walking, running or whatever, minding his own business. And a homeless guy came up to him and shot him or stabbed him or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And he died. Well, here, this guy, and that's why this guy here that did this homeless guy is being brought up on state charges. This guy is a off-duty LCB undercover agent. He goes into bars and he busts them for serving underage drinkers and stuff like that. That's what this guy's job was. So therefore, this guy is homeless, and you're not going to guess in a million years what happened last year. Xander Ornstein let him out on no bail.
You told me something about that. You got a slap on the back of the wrist.
Yeah. He got no bail for this, and he had 5 assault charges. 5. And Xander Ornstein happened to be the judge of 3 of them, and they let him out on bail with no bail.
Go figure, huh?
So I'm working on, as you know, my new radio shows this Saturday, the Ralph Williams Show. All right, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. AM 1250, 92.5 FM. The Answer, the Ralph Williams Show. I am working on getting, not for this show, the first show, but for the next show, I'm working on getting either Devlin Robinson, state senator, or state representative Anita Kulik. I talked to both of their people today, and I'm working on getting one or both of them on. Them two are heading up a bipartisan law bill in the state. They're taking it all the way to the Supreme Court for 2 purposes, twofold. Number one, they're going to try to get Xander Ornstein removed from the bench. That's number one. Number two, they're going to get a law, and this law is getting ready to pass, where if anyone does any kind of a felony or anything of a serious crime, you cannot no bail them. You have to give them bail, and it has to be more than $1,000 or whatever. They're going to put some kind of limit on it or whatever. So you can't release 12 drug dealers for $1. You can't do that. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
They're getting a law done up, and I heard it's got big time support. And we're also working on getting Steven Zappala, the DA, on the show to talk to us about that a little bit. And and this thing with Xander Ornstein. So he's again in trouble again, but this time somebody's doing something about it, Bill, and that's the good part. Your thoughts on this thing with Xander Ornstein?
Well, they need to do a whole hell of a lot more than just moving a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is unheard of. I mean, that's just, again, the things that we think that are unimaginable or even unthinkable is happening right here now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
what have I said so many times, Bill? Here's your progressive Democrats at work: Sarah Alvarado, Big Mouth Bethany Hallam, and all these, and Xander Ornstein are all progressive Democrats. There's a lady on the north side who's a district justice, does the same thing Ornstein does.
But listen, viewers and listeners right now, disagree or agree with me. I mean, they are in the situation to where they can actually do something to make a change, and they are not.
No, and it's causing public safety problems. So now
And not yet,
Devlin
no,
Robinson has
having
stepped up
people
and done
killed.
something. Oh, it is. Oh,
People are getting,
absolutely. You see the residual out of it. Remember that guy from New York, that one that they busted at the Greyhound, and then he let him loose on no bail and never showed up for his hearing, and they had to go down to Florida to go get him. Remember that guy?
yes,
Yeah. Well, that was
yes, I
Xander
remember.
Ornstein. There was a couple more that he did, a couple other stupid
Okay.
ones that he did, but this one takes the cake here in the state now. The LCB people are going with Devlin Robinson, this Anita Kulik, and they're going to the state Supreme Court to have him removed. So I mean, and I hope he does get removed, because this right here will be a blow. This here will be a blow, Bill, and I think you'll agree with me, to the progressive Democrats, because now
absolutely,
they're going to understand that everybody means business now. You can't keep letting people out on bail with no bail. You can't do that. You just can't.
Absolutely.
It's not going to work.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Upon agreed, brother. Absolutely.
It's just,
absolutely.
it's downright disgusting. All right. Our next topic here, we're going to Robin Campbell Insurance. Call Robin today. Look, I've been dealing with Robin Campbell for over 15 years. And I got to tell you, he's a great insurance agent. Will come to your house. He will lay out everything for you. He does life insurance, fire, rental, any kind of insurance you need. Call him today for Farmers or Bristol West Insurance, 412-366-3399. Robin will set you up with a policy at the right price as well. And also, I want to say this, and I urge you, please, I just had a fire in my building, and I keep repeating this. I'm going to repeat it until it gets into everybody's brain. If you rent an apartment or a house or anything, please get renter's insurance. It cover yourself. It's only about anywhere from $10 to $15 a month. That is all it is. All right. If you have to put down the beer, or you have to put down whatever, a pack of cigarettes or two, it's worth it. Do it, please. Call Robin for it today. Renters Insurance and more. 412-366-3399. Robin Campbell Insurance.
Absolutely.
All right. And I mean, there are people that don't have insurance. You never know. There's times when the Red Cross can't put you up in a hotel, or Salvation Army can't help you. I've seen those times happen. Or I feel bad for people who basically didn't have, weren't able to do that. So, I mean, all right. Also, Folding Travel Mobility is one of our sponsors here. Folding power wheelchairs at a reasonable price. Get the model you want. FoldingTravelMobility.com, or call 1-877-GOT-FOLD, 1-877-GOT-FOLD. That's 1-877-GOT-FOLD. And that's Folding Travel Mobility, or FoldingTravelMobility.com. All right, Bill, we're back here. Let's talk about, like I said, we got plenty to talk about. Western Psych. I don't know if you know this, Bill, and I know that the Western Psych nurses and counselors went on strike a few weeks back. They were ready to really make this get out of hand. UPMC stepped up and gave them a contract, and they gave them everything they wanted, because I'll tell you what, if Western Psych goes out on strike, if you think there's going to be mental people wandering around town, look out. And, come to find out, Bill, and you probably already knew this, they have enough beds at Western Psych. The problem is they can't put all them people in there because they don't have enough staff. And that's the biggest problem. And there's your problem right there. When you can't, like, you have units like the kid unit. He said, the one nurse they interviewed, he said the kid unit has, you have enough for 50 beds, and they're only using 10 beds because they don't have enough staff, or half of it, or whatever. So this is another reason why we're having issues with mental health. And again, we're going to get into our new segment tonight. It affects your health, and that's something that affects your health. And UPMC ought to be ashamed of themselves. And it took this strike, or the beginning of this strike, to get UPMC to wake up and do something. Your thoughts, Bill, on this, man?
Well, brother, you know what? Agree with you 1,000,000%, because just like you said, it affects everything, and especially our regular PCP. You know as well as I know, because we got the same one.
Same doctor,
right?
yes.
Taking on too much, but you know what? It's getting overblown big
it's getting
time.
Saturated.
There's not enough,
and there's not enough staff.
And on top of that, then we have the issue of dental, which we can get into because you know
Yeah.
how I went through on my tooth.
Yeah.
We have ourselves with the regular PCP and checkups.
Yes.
I mean, listen, there's things that are blown out of proportion to where you are 1,000,000% right. Absolutely.
And
And
people are not aware of this, Bill, and we're going to make them aware of this
well,
because it affects your health. You know what I
well,
mean?
see,
It
here's the
affects
thing.
everybody's health.
Yes, and it does. I mean, guys, people out there, especially, and I'm sure if people are listening and viewing and so forth like that, that absolutely are hearing this right now within the sound of all of our voices right now to their ears, they know, especially if they have a regular PCP that gets overbooked,
Yes.
way overbooked and understaffed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
See? So, yes, my thoughts on that. You know how I feel about that, brother. And you know, me and you are definitely on the same wavelength with that. And I'm sure everybody out there is on the same wavelength. However, they need to start making stuff way ahead of time
Oh, yeah.
because you just can't, just real quick, guys. I go every other month to my doctor's. I had to make my appointment. This is how booked up he is. My appointment 2 months out. I
Wow.
was like, because I would actually leave and then I would call back in to get somebody. Now you
Right.
can't do it. You have to make them 2 months out, brother. 2 months out.
Wow.
So
That's yeah,
yes.
it's
So
really sad. I had to
yes,
I made an appointment and they called me twice to change it. And
yes, yes, yep, yep.
that's going on too. And I'm gonna lead up to this a little bit as well, but we'll talk about more of that later on our new segment called "It Affects Your Health." All right, so all right, let's talk about the state putting $1 million to help with the demolition of Century 3 Mall. They're still demolishing it. West Mifflin ran out of money. The township and the county was supposed to help out with this, but we're going to talk later on too, Bill. The county's got a budget problem, and it's going to boil down to a bunch of stuff. We had Sam DeMarco on our show once here, and I'm trying to work on getting him on again another time here to talk with us about this budget because he's deep in the thick of things of this. They've had 3 public hearings already, Bill. Because if they don't get what they want with this 47% property taxes, different departments are going to have to take a cut. And they can't cut the
Yeah.
judge department. Susan De Lucente, the chief judge, she was already there to say that. PRT can't afford to take a cut for the transit system, or there won't be one. And then,
See,
it's just a
yeah.
lot. The sheriff's department, the whole 9 yards. So something has to be done here, Bill. Somebody did something wrong here. And, now Sarah Amarato stuck with it. But I mean, but let's get back to Century 3 Mall here. This should have been done a long time ago. This mall, the West Mifflin laid an egg. They didn't haul this company to the carpet until finally people started dying going into that mall. That kid fell and died that fell off the roof.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And trespassers kept going in there, filming YouTube videos illegally and things like that. So they finally decided to get on the owner to do something. Had to go to court. It took about 3-4 years. DA had to get involved. So now they're finally tearing it down. But they spent so much money on the asbestos removal that they don't have any more money. So now the state's pitched in $1 million to help them finish the demolition of Century 3 Mall. Your thoughts on this Century 3 Mall? I already gave my ideas.
Well, I think my ideas and your ideas are right on the same wavelength, brother. It's only taking a tragedy and somebody to get hurt to go across to trespass against the mall, and it's very dangerous. It was open and it was very lucrative
Right.
back in the day. Everybody used to go
Exactly.
out to Century 3, Monroeville, and and then before North Hill
Parkway Center,
started to spawn up.
Allegheny Center
Yeah,
Mall. I
exactly.
can name you at least 4
Yeah,
or 5 of them
absolutely.
that are either
And yeah,
gone
oh
or
yeah,
nothing.
because over there off Parkway Center Mall over there, they had right off the Parkway there. They used to have a Comp USA. They had the Giant
Yes.
Eagle over there. They had a bakery over there. Everything is like skeleton now. Ain't nothing over there now anymore.
They had a
But
nice pool
my
hall in
thoughts
there
on
too.
that.
I went to shoot pool there numerous times at Parkway Center.
Oh
They had a
yeah,
pool
I
hall
remember
there.
that pool hall.
Yeah.
It was called Breakers or something like
Breakers,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And you were telling me, and then but my thoughts on this, brother, it only takes a tragedy.
Right.
Hopefully they actually they secured it enough to where there is nothing to even go even further past what it already has. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Or what
So
structure's already remaining. Yeah. Exactly.
absolutely, yeah. So
Yeah, they even shut it off to the media. The media is not even allowed to go inside.
Good.
They have the media
Good.
outside by where the parking garage is being demolished. That's the last
Well,
of it
that's
I
all right.
saw. So I mean,
Well, that's where it
yeah,
needs to be.
yeah,
I mean, that's really where it needs to be, because of the simple fact is that people are going in there. They're the ones, great media coverage and everything like that. But then what happens when you go through it? You fall through a floor.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Or
Ceiling
something
could come
falls
down.
on your
I
head
mean,
and you fall and get
yes,
hurt. I mean, it can be
yes,
numerous anything. You know what I mean? You might encounter a homeless
absolutely.
person living in there. I mean, they've already had that problem. So I mean,
Okay.
and but that's it's sad about that situation with that. They're going to make it retail. They're going to put a hotel or two up there, and they're supposed to put retail and some businesses or some office space there as well, office buildings. I suggested this, and every time I suggest this, everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not. I think they should have made that into a nice indoor concert facility with go-karts and an indoor water park. That's what
Well,
I
you know
thought they
what,
should
brother?
have done
That's
with it.
another agreed topic. I mean,
And
another
attach a
an agreement
hotel
with
to
you.
it.
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine on how much money that would bring out there?
You know how much tax
Can you
base that would
imagine?
base? They've lost tax
Oh
money
my
on this
God.
bill. West Mifflin's
Oh my
complaining,
God.
about tax money. I mean, you need tax money. There it is right there. It's instant.
Exactly.
But you did nothing about it.
Exactly.
You let it fall apart. You didn't do anything. And then finally, it took that
Oh
kid
my
to fall
gosh.
and get hurt and die
Yep.
that fell off the
Yes.
roof because he was horsing around there and to go after the owners and everything to finally get this done. And I mean, it was unbelievable. Hey, how about the mills? They finally, the township finally had to sue them or something or go after them to get them to patch the potholes up there. I mean, that's unacceptable here with these mall owners. I mean,
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's what it takes, for somebody to get killed or hurt or really bad or something like that.
people were turning in
That's the
claims
thing.
about their cars up there at the mills
Yeah.
because they're hitting them big potholes and they're losing their tires and their axle and stuff like that.
Well, that ain't no joke. I mean, I can definitely attest for that. I mean, that out there in the mills is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you want to see China, all you got to do is go up in there and look down. You'll see it right away.
Oh,
Trust me.
exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
I
then
mean, you
and
could
then
fit a small Mini Cooper in there.
yeah, they went after the owners. A magistrate in that area over there went after them. The township took them to court, and now they've been fined, and they were given 30 days to fix the holes. So we'll see what they do. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I
because the
got you.
township said they don't have the money to fix them. They don't, and now they're putting it in the hands of the owner, which they should, because they own the property. So I mean, and
I got you.
yeah. So that's our the way we see it about malls. So there you go.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Ralph Williams here with Bill Cannata by telephone here tonight. It's the way we see it. We're having a 2-hour special tonight. And this next part of the show is going to be brought to you in part by Alex's Flowers. Call Alex today, 412-661-6071 or alexsflowers.com. Weddings, funerals, or for your sweetheart or anyone that you need flowers for, call today, 412-661-6071 and alexsflowers.com. Alex's Flowers. All right. Okay, Bill, let's get into our next topic here. Downtown Pittsburgh has a 10-year plan. The federal government, state, and local businesses and some corporations have pitched in. The plan is to put up $600 million of revitalization of downtown within a 10-year period. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I think that's another overdue project, brother, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Definitely to remove some of that and to make it more accessible, to make it more safer. I guess that's what I'm shooting here for.
Right.
So hopefully they'll get it. They'll nab that one, and that'll be a lot safer for a lot of other people.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I believe that to be the case. And they're also supposedly they're going to put up some affordable housing downtown and some of the office buildings that have been vacated because of COVID or have moved. Some of them are moving to the North Shore. I was going to talk about tonight, but while we're talking about downtown, Duquesne Light is moving their headquarters out of the Chamber of Commerce building, and they're moving them over to the Nova Place, formerly known as Allegheny Center Mall. So
well, that's going to boost.
Yeah.
That's going to boost up a lot because of all the stuff that they're going to be boosting up down there with Allegheny Center Mall, and then that's going to, of course, generate a lot more revenue over there too.
Over there,
I mean, Allegheny
right.
Center Mall, yeah, man, that's beautiful over there. They just put all that work in over there for the streets
Yeah.
that they had,
Yeah,
you know, around
yeah,
the
oh
circle
yeah,
and so
yeah.
forth.
Like East Liberty, they made them all two-way and different.
Yeah,
I'm going to different
exactly.
directions now, but yeah. And Nova Place is nice. I've been there. I went there about a year ago for a PCTV Awards to support Luther Dupree, Claudia Rosano, and Smoking Jim Frazier, and their Boxing Authority show was nominated for for the Allegheny County Media Award. And I went over there to support them, and it's beautiful over there, Bill. I'm telling you, it's really nice in there. They have a really nice office park in there, and they have some tech companies and some other things going on in there. So it's nice. It's really
Yeah,
nice over there.
I mean, the last time I was over there, I was DJing at the Aviary, so they really did a lot of stuff over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
yeah, but
you know, so
yeah,
look,
that's where the parties are going over there on the north side too.
oh, well, like I said, you get a lot of stuff off the streets, and I think everybody knows where I'm aiming for this.
All right, Bill. Let's talk
Absolutely.
about the county council hearings about the budget. They've had 3 hearings. Everybody was able to present what they need or what they can't afford to cut. You know, especially mental health, several other different things. Sam DeMarco has said numerous times on numerous talk shows across Pittsburgh. I'm working on getting him on my radio show, working on getting him back on this program. Talk to us about this budget. Sarah Alvarado wants to put in 47% property tax increase over the course of 5 years to recover for what she calls a $180 million deficit. And what I can't figure out is how in the world do you have that kind of deficit when 2 years ago I had Bethany Hallam on my TV show, The Way I See It. She told me there was billions of dollars in coffers that they had in money, and now all of a sudden they're broke. And I found out, you know, Sam DeMarco brought up some great points. You know, you had to get something done with Schumann Center, but you didn't have to do a 70 million 10-year or whatever it's called, contract and fork out all kinds of money to Adelphoi to run the facility. You know what I mean? You know, and
Yes,
he also
yes.
pointed out about the jail, about how they gave them tablets down there, brand new uniforms, that $150 a month siphon for the prisoners down there, for the inmates down there, for the commissary, which was something of Bethany Hallam's. And, you know, so stuff like that, waste of money, Sam DeMarco said, is the reason why the county is in debt. So it's
Yes.
either the 47% property tax or they start cutting departments that they can't afford to cut. Your thoughts on this and jobs?
Yeah, so that's exactly where I was heading to. Cutting departments, it can't be done.
No.
I'm sorry. You're short-staffed all over the place now.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, instead of taking some tax hike for right now and to try to at least blend that over before you decide, or if you could even see to do some tax cuts or, you know, some job revitalization. But that's just impossible. And brother, I don't know, but from what I'm seeing, I don't think that we only hope it's going to get better than what it is.
Oh, absolutely. Here, I'll give you an example of these progressive Democrats. And Sam DeMarco brought this up. When Richie Fitz was the county executive, he wanted to do fracking in all the parks, county parks, to raise money to fix the parks. Okay. Now, if you know, the new airport's being built with fracking money because they frack on the property. That the county council can't touch that. That was something that was agreed upon, contracts and everything, when Fitzgerald was the county council or county executive. Then Deer Lakes Park, it's beautiful out there. Why? Because they have fracking on the property, and they use the fracking money that they get from that to fix the park. And then all of a sudden now you got all these progressives now that are county council people, and they said no on fracking in county parks now. So South Park looks like a dump. North Park looks like a dump. Settlers Cabin is falling apart. All these parks are for Boys Park. They're all falling apart because of that. Okay.
Yep.
And if they would have kept up the fracking, I think every park would look nice, a lot better than what they look like. We've been at some of the South Park buildings. Oh my gosh, are they horrible? You know what I mean?
Oh,
you know.
Oh my, yeah. You're lucky you don't get through the first floor upstairs to go through the basement.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how bad they are. I mean, you know, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. I mean, that's creating jobs. It's having right there and everything being taken care of. And exactly, North Park. I remember North Park used to be beautiful,
Oh
beautiful
yeah,
out there.
yeah. Well, they had to dredge the lake, as you know. They did that a few years back. That came from fracking. Okay, so now all of a sudden you can't frack no more in the county parks. Now they're still fracking again in Deer Lakes because Deer Lakes Park, that fracking contract was worked out when Fitzgerald was the county executive, and at the airport still. But they're not fracking in the other parks, or they won't let it go on. So that's why
Yeah,
our parks
no,
look like a dump. And then you want to cut stuff?
exactly.
I mean, come on. You can't cut
Yeah,
from the parks budget. They had the parks director down there at one of the 3 hearings. He says, "You can't cut my
you're gonna
budget."
you're gonna cut too much, man. I mean, it's already slim to none now,
Yes,
and then you're gonna keep
yes,
trying to cut, keep trying to cut. You're gonna have more problems than enough, more
right,
problems than enough.
right.
And it's already happening, like right in front of us, and we see it, and we bring it to light, on the shows that we can,
Right. Oh, exactly.
absolutely.
I'm
So
the
yeah,
first
I
person
mean,
to
you
bring
can't.
it to light. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
and
I mean, you
that's,
can't. I mean, that's just. I don't see that. I mean, if they would keep it within its property, its limits, things of that nature, to keep everything going, and to keep it within a realm of the park, all the finances and so forth like that,
all
and to
right.
and to keep people working, and
Oh,
to
yeah.
see how fast that would go up.
Oh, I know. Diggs ATW1 says, "What's up?" And what's up to you too as well. And thank you for being part of the comments tonight. So there you go.
Absolutely, man.
All
Thank you.
right.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? It's
Uh,
exactly. So, but
I just
yeah.
want to let you guys know real quick. Um, I just had to come out to my car.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to go down to back down to my grandbaby's birthday.
Oh,
So when I get back down there, we're going to sing happy birthday. But brother, what I can do is I will call you back,
okay.
or if you want to take the other hour out, you can do whatever you would like.
Uh, Maybe we'll take the other hour out and we'll just do
Okay.
this.
All
Okay.
right. Well,
I mean,
listen,
I've done that before, so we can do it again.
I got you. Well,
So
listen, all the viewers and the listeners and emailers, I appreciate you guys so much. We're going to be back on regular time next week. Thank
yeah.
you guys so much. It is my grandbaby's birthday, and like I said, we'll get into that some other time. But thank you guys, and can't wait for next week. You guys have a safe and great week, and we'll catch you soon.
All right. All right. That was Bill Cannata. He has to go. His grandbaby's or late grandbaby's birthday is today, and they're celebrating as well. This show tonight is dedicated to Aiden Myers. He died. He was 2 years old. The boyfriend of one of his oldest daughter decided to abuse the kid, beat the kid up so bad that the kid ended up dying. He's in prison right now, and that's a great thing. That happened about 2 years ago, 3. I think it was about 2, maybe 3 years ago that happened, and it's very sad that happened as well. All right, let's talk about the Kamala Harris Trump rallies tonight in town. Uh, Pittsburgh Public Safety, and I knew this was going to happen, at the last minute decided that they couldn't do this, and the Secret Service tried to cover this up, and I'm not denying that they covered it up. The only reason they covered this up was because the city of Pittsburgh didn't want to have egg on their face yet again. Okay, and what happened is that the city of Pittsburgh said they can't do this. We're having two rallies at the same time, one of them at Point State Park and the other one up at PPG Paints Arena. Kamala Harris's was supposed to be at Point State Park, and the other one is Donald Trump, which is currently going on right now at PPG Paints Arena. Okay. All right. So what's happening now is Kamala Harris has been moved to Rankin, to the Cary Furnace under the Rankin Bridge. Bill was on his way out he takes the back way, don't take the parkway. He came past Kennywood Park. He said there had to be at least 40 coach buses there. And what they're doing is they're parking the cars at Kennywood, and they're shuttling everybody down to the event. All right. They have small shuttle buses up there and big coach buses. She's having a concert. She's not having a real rally kind of thing. She's got musicians, singers, all kinds of different celebrities and people involved in this. Trump has some celebrities, but he doesn't have anybody really singing other than Lee Greenwood. Okay, I mean it's not a concert; it's a rally. And I have to say this, and I don't talk too much national politics on this program, but since he's in town today, I have to say this about Donald Trump, and I got to give him a lot of credit. He's been out there. He's been doing 2, 3, 4 rallies. per day. He's been flying around the country, getting personal with everybody, telling everybody what he's going to do, doing this, doing that, and he's doing it right. Okay. And you know something? I got to say this, I got to give him credit for it. And in case you're not aware, I'm voting for Donald Trump. Okay. I've said it adamantly on my Ralph's Opinion show. And but let's get back into some things. But Kamala Harris Trump rallies are going on right now. And the Kamala Harris rally started at 6 o'clock. Trump started at 5. And he's at PPG Paints Arena. They said, how you doing, Michael? It's great to hear from you on the comments section. We had a long time no hear from. But, but anyway, so there we are with the Trump rally and the Kamala Harris rallies. And now Kamala Harris is not going to have the big crowd she thought she could have, because I'm told the Cary Furnace property can only fit about 5,000 people. So Donald Trump's rally at PPG Paints Arena, believe it or not, is the largest attended rally that he's doing right now in this campaign. And election day is tomorrow. Some schools are closed. There are things going on tomorrow. Are closing up. People having half days. Schools going on remote learning. And Wednesday, the same thing, because they're saying they think there's going to be all these riots and protests and all that other stuff going on. And you know what? In one perspective, I don't blame them for doing this. It's a security measure. It has to be done. Okay, it really has to be done. So, all right, let's. We got a few things we have to go into here. Some announcements to make here. Don't forget this Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the new Ralph Williams Show. And my guest will be Jay Kalk of the Allegheny Institute for Public Policy, who will join us to talk about Pittsburgh Public Schools, Allegheny County's budget, and a whole lot more. And then later on, I have Tony Moreno coming on, who was the Republican candidate who ran against Ed Gainey in the last mayoral election in the city of Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about this Larry Sherrod debacle, and I will tell you this much. I have reached out to Larry Sherrod, and I have not received an answer back yet from him as to whether or not he would want to be on the show. I know he's busy refereeing, so catch a Big Ten game. You might see Larry Sherrod, but you won't see him here. But I'm working on getting him on the show. I'm trying to work my booking machine magic, as my co-host Smoking Jim Frazier calls me. And don't forget Saturday, also 2 to 3 p.m., 1250 a.m., 92.5 FM, The Answer, the Ralph Williams Show, also the Sports Corner radio show. And also on Saturdays, don't forget the External Boom Show with me, Ralph Williams, Scott Morgan, Leo Haggerty, and Jeremy Ballrick. And that's this Saturday, as well as every Saturday at 9 a.m. A triple dose of Ralph starting this Saturday as well. Don't forget tomorrow night, Wrestle Talk with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, 5 to 6 p.m. Tomorrow, we have a guest coming on, wrestler Justin Woolwace will be joining us. He is an independent wrestler. He'll join us tomorrow, and I'm working on getting Bubba Brewer on from Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. Big time Crown Jewel pay-per-view. We're going to talk about that. AEW's pay-per-view coming up as well, and a whole lot more tomorrow night on Wrestle Talk. And then also don't forget tomorrow as well, 4 to 5 p.m., the Sports Corner Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. Look up in your up at the top of your screen there. We'll be on tomorrow. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch platforms for all of my social media stuff shows is where you will need to go in order to watch these programs. All right. Don't forget every Monday night, The Way We See It with me, Ralph Williams, Bill Cannata. That's our 2-hour special. Bill was on with me for a little while, and he was running late at his late grandson's birthday party, or party that they're having, because they were running late there. So he got off the air. He will be back next Monday. Join us at our regular time at 7 o'clock for The Way We See It here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch platforms. All right. But anyway, let's talk about this Pittsburgh public school teacher who decided to play around with some child at a Halloween during trick or treat. And now this teacher lives in Mount Lebanon, and was handing out candy and decided to do a poll amongst kids. So she asked this 13-year-old girl if the election the election is tomorrow. or on Tuesday, November 5th, and you were old enough to vote, who would you vote for? She said Donald Trump. This teacher had the audacity to say to this kid, now it wasn't in school, okay, it was in Mount Lebanon. This teacher works for the Pittsburgh public school system as a teacher, but lives in Mount Lebanon. Was handing out candy, and she said she was taking a poll amongst teenage kids. And she asked this 13-year-old girl, and she said, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I would vote for Donald Trump. She said, come back, see me next year and get some candy when you're raped. Now, you know what? That's not only gross, that's disgusting. And you know, the sad part about all this is it's coming from a school teacher who should know better. All right? And I said this today, and this is another classic example of the Pittsburgh public schools being the Pittsburgh public schools. Okay? They have teachers that make derogatory, stupid comments, even though it didn't happen at the school. Still, you should carry yourself with an example as a teacher. All right? Is that an example to set as a teacher? No. Okay? Pittsburgh public schools will probably get involved in this, maybe suspend the teacher or try to. The union will go out and get her and a lawyer, and guess what they're going to do next? They're going to say, the Constitution this, the Constitution that, I have a right to free speech, I have a right to do this, I have a right to do that. Okay? That's exactly what they're going to say. All right? I personally, if you ask my opinion, I think this teacher should be suspended or fired. Even though it didn't happen at the school, still, you should not conduct yourself as a teacher like that. Now, let me ask you this. If you live in Mount Lebanon, Penn Hills, well, I'm not even going to go into McKeesport right now, all right? Any of those school districts that I brought up, Cannon Mac, any of them, all right? Peters Township. Do teachers act like that? No. But only in Pittsburgh public schools do we have a teacher who hands out candy at her own home in Mount Lebanon, of all places, hands out candy, and then goes ahead and says to this 13-year-old girl, who would you vote for if you could vote tomorrow? She says Donald Trump. She said, come back next year when you're raped. What? Okay? And I'm telling you right now, and I'll bet $1 to a dime, that this school teacher, the school district's going to try to fire her or possibly suspend her, and she's going to say, well, it happened at my house. You can't do that to me. Okay? Or this teacher's going to say, well, you know what? I have a right to say this. It's free speech. It's in the Constitution. And I feel bad for her parents because her father is a Marine. Her father was in the Marines, served in the Marine Corps, was in wars. Okay? So please explain to me how the conduct of this teacher, even though it was off the premises of anything involving Pittsburgh public schools, can say this to a kid. Now, I will say this. The parent went ahead and filed a police report with Mount Lebanon Police, and I don't blame them for doing that. I find that very offensive and very demeaning. Don't you? I mean, because this is ridiculous. How dare this woman do this to kids? How many kids maybe walked up to her door and said, I'm voting for Donald Trump? Did she say the same thing to them? What's she saying to a boy? To a teenage boy who walks up to her and goes, I'm voting for Donald Trump. What's she going to say? Come back when you're a transvestite? Okay, what are you going to say? All right? And I can just imagine, and see, here we go again, taking away something from a delightful thing like trick or treat that kids enjoy. And, you know, I tell cab stories all the time. And, you know, I used to have business executives that would leave early from their business trip to go home and trick or treat with their kids and then come back. Okay? That is how important, believe it or not, trick or treating is to a kid. All right? And then you have to ruin the trick or treat moment by doing that. All right? I can just imagine what she said to the teenage boys if this is what she's saying to the teenage girls. Okay? So you think about that for a second. The next time you go trick-or-treating in Mount Lebanon at some teacher's house and find out if the Mount Lebanon teacher, the Mount Lebanon teacher's not going to do that because they know better. And here's another example, again, of Pittsburgh public schools and what they're doing. All right? That's the way we see it tonight. Bill had to go off because he had to attend his late grandson's birthday party. Having a little celebration. It's his birthday. Having a little party for him. He died because some guy murdered him, which is sad. He was babysitter watching him, and he couldn't stand the kid crying, so he beat him up so bad that he died. And the guy's in prison now. So, all right. All right. Speaking of Halloween parades and the Halloween season, are you torn between this? Or do you agree with the township mayor of Mount Pleasant? I don't know if you're aware, but there was a parade there last week. And they did this float with a golf cart with somebody with a Donald Trump mask, dressed in a suit, waving at everybody. He had Secret Service on one side of him, Secret Service on another, and then Secret Service behind him. Next to the Secret Service behind him was somebody dressed like Kamala Harris with a chain, and she was being pulled by the golf cart. Now, there's two perspectives in this, and don't take this the wrong way. The two perspectives are this. Number one, okay, this is Halloween. And people play tricks on people for Halloween, do they not? It's not as bad as it used to be. Back in the day, people used to play all these ridiculous tricks on people all the time. Okay? All right? All the time for trick or treat. All right? Or Halloween as a whole. All right? You probably may have even been involved in some kind of a trick or a treat. Okay? Well, that's what the goal was of these people who had this float. And there are people out there that are saying it's a joke. And yeah, I sort of agree with them that it's a joke. But I have to agree, too, on the concept that it was kind of disgusting. And they should have been careful about how they did that. Okay? And I know what you're probably saying to me. Well, Ralph, if those people were acting like that, that's because they're communist or whatever. They don't know free country. And that's why Donald Trump's going to be president. I agree. I agree that Donald Trump's going to be president because of the free, he's the savior of the free world. Okay? But in a place like Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, and places like that, you have to watch what you're doing in some of them places. Now you got the mayor of asking for an apology from these people and asking the fire department not to rent these floats where they make their money. All right? All right, more of the way we see it tonight, 2-hour special with me, Ralph Williams. Bill Cannata was on for most of the first hour, and we'll be back right after these words.
Auto repair can be expensive, and sometimes shops rip you off. But I have a shop for you to fix your car the right way at the right price. Big Dog Auto in West Mifflin by the Allegheny County Airport. Oil change, state inspection, and more. Call today, 412-999-0191. For good car repair, call the Big Dog. Big Dog's Auto. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Digital Data gives you on-demand access to a team of professional web designers and data-driven marketers for an affordable monthly flat rate. Discover your website's earning potential today. At Digital Data, our goal is to provide small businesses with the tools and services they need to be successful online by utilizing our team's deep knowledge and experience. Call now, 866-276-9504.
Ralph Williams here to talk to you today about Candlewood Suites in Erie. Candlewood Suites in Erie is a hotel you do not want to go to. I experienced an issue where I needed my sheets changed, and my wife went up to complain and say something. She raised her voice a little bit. They kicked us out. If you don't want to go through any of this stuff, the hotel is a dump. The general manager has bad customer service experience. So please do yourself a favor and do not stay at the Candlewood Suites in Erie, because if you do, you will regret it. So do not stay there, please. And please spread the word to anyone you know that's going to Erie to tell them not to stay at this Candlewood Suites hotel. It's a disgrace what goes on there. They disrespected me as a handicapped person, and they disrespected my mother as a senior citizen. So please do not go there. Thank you. All right, we're back here at the way we see it with me, Ralph Williams, and Bill Cannata. Bill had to leave early. He was on for most of the first hour. He was having a birthday party with his family. It's his grandson's birthday today. Would have been his birthday because, as I mentioned before, he was murdered a few years back, and really sad situation. But yeah, there we are. All right. Let's talk about. I've been talking about it most of last week, and so has everyone else, about Chief Larry Scirotto. Those of you who don't know, the Pittsburgh Police Chief Larry Scirotto has left the borough, and Chris Ragland has taken over as the new chief. Excuse me. All right, so we're back, and anyway, Chris Ragland's taken over. The situation between city council and the mayor, and I blasted them earlier on the show here tonight. We're going to go to about 7:30 tonight. Okay, I know I'm screwing you out of a half an hour, but we're going to go to about 7:30. Okay, so Larry Scirotto decided he wanted to be a referee, and according to what he said on a talk show that he was on recently this week with somebody on a radio talk show, last week, he brought up about the fact that his partner had been promoted on a job and they had to move to Dallas, Texas. So he was helping his partner out because his partner helped him out by accepting the fact that they had to move to Pittsburgh. So Larry Scirotto goes on and on about how it cost him $85,000 to move here. Goes on and on about how he took a salary cut by not refereeing. It's going to take him 8 years to make up what he was making refereeing if he would stay with the city police. Refereeing's not a bad job. I wish I could do it. $3,000 a game. Okay, 70 games, $210,000. And he's going to get $95,000 because of accumulated money from his pension. Larry Scirotto left in 2018 to take a job down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, as a police chief. So he left here. He was here for 23 years. He needed 2 more years to make a full pension. Now, if he didn't come back for the 2 years, he only would have got $50,000 a year for his pension. Okay? So to accumulate that full-scale pension of $95,000, he had to work here for 2 years. Well, the mayor's office gave him that. And here's the problem with all this. And I blasted him earlier, and it's too bad I didn't get Bill to stay on to talk about this. The fact of the matter is that city council and the mayor, there's no communication. Once again, city council was left out in the cold. Once again, the mayor didn't consult with city council. Once again, city council didn't know what was going on. Once again. It's the same situation here. Okay? Now, I want to credit Councilman Bob Charlin, who happens to be my city councilman this week, because what had happened was he was at that public hearing that they had last week with that Larry Scirotto was supposed to be at, and he never showed up. City Councilman Anthony Coghill, who I'm working on getting on my radio show, the Ralph Williams Show, which will be starting this Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 1250 a.m. and 92.5 FM, The Answer. I'm working on getting Anthony Coghill on the show to come on and talk about this situation. City council, again, was left out of the situation. But Bob Charlin really asked a lot of questions to Chief Ragland, current Chief Ragland, and also to Deputy Mayor Pollock, okay, and several members of the mayor's office who was there other than the mayor, of course, okay. Once again, I want to reiterate, I am personal friends with Mayor Gainey. I don't like the way things are going with him as mayor. A small part of me feels bad for him. The rest of me doesn't. Okay. I feel bad for him because I don't think he knew what he was getting himself into when he did this job. And I think now he's regretting it. He wants to run for a second term. And if I'm him, I would. Because I don't think he would make a second term. If you do, I want to hear your comments. I also want to hear, we have our mailbag, ralphwilliams737@gmail.com. Okay. Mailbag here. Timmy from Alaska, one of my Alaskan people. We have Paul up there as well, Mike, and a few other people up from Alaska there that tuned in on YouTube. Okay, said if this was going on in the town up here, Timmy said the mayor wouldn't be there. Okay, so if Mayor Gainey wants to run for a second term, he has to clean this up. Because if he doesn't, I wouldn't even run. Because I'm told through some sources of mine, and I've confirmed it with some other sources of mine, that Corey O'Connor, our current county controller, is thinking about running for mayor. And he's being funded by major corporations and businesses downtown that Mayor Gainey screwed over. I heard some of the donors that he had for his campaign are currently going to be moving over to Corey O'Connor. So Mayor Gainey, no matter what he tries to do, I guess, other than bring the NFL draft here and secure that $600 million funding that Bill and I talked about last hour, you see? Okay? So what happens now? If I'm going to the polls, I'm voting for Corey O'Connor, who I am also friends with. You get it? Okay? So what do you do? What do you say? You live in the city of Pittsburgh, and there's a disconnect between the mayor and city council, a disconnect. What do? Do you vote out the city council people to favor the mayor? Or do you vote out the mayor because he can't communicate with city council? And see, here's another thing, too, you got to look at. Some of the city council people that are there now worked with Corey O'Connor when he was city council. Okay? Now, Ed Gainey was the state representative, and he was able to secure a lot of state funding through the governor. You see what I mean? So, I get it. But it's another progressive screw-up that I have talked about for a while now. And I've given you classic examples of progressive screw-up. This is progressive screw-up because Mayor Gainey is a progressive. All right? His spokesperson stepped down. Maria Montesano or Montalulu or whatever her name is. Stepped away. Because she made some derogatory comments on the internet that were offensive or whatever. Okay? His administration keeps changing people. Left and right. All right? Is this the destruction of the Gainey administration? We have an election next year. What's going to happen here? And this Larry Sherrod thing is not any better. When you don't communicate with your council, with your city council. I'm sure if you live in some small town somewhere, even a big city, I'm sure the mayor has to communicate with city council. Or, you know what? How many times have I said this on this program or on any other program of mine? It takes two to tango. So maybe city council isn't agreeing with the mayor and not getting anything done. So the mayor has to do backdoor deals to get anything accomplished. All right? The same people who like Corey O'Connor were at Mayor Gainey's picnic when he was running for election. I saw him there. Okay. So, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. It's all about what you do today. They supported him at that picnic. Now they want to throw him out to dry, hang him out to dry. And in a sense, I don't blame people. This Larry Sherrod thing, the homeless, the crime, the cutting of the police department, just a whole heap of stuff. And fine, I get it. He brought up the NFL draft here, but that wasn't just him. That was a collaboration of a lot of people here. Richie Fitzgerald was still the Allegheny County executive when this was in the works. He was the one that sat down with the Rooneys and pushed this with the NFL too. So can't cancel him out at all. All right. Okay, I'm Mayor Gainey. On my resume, I have that I pissed off UPMC, that my police chief left in the middle of whatever to go back to refereeing. I can't get along with my city council. Okay. Well, I have a homeless problem I can't fix because I'm too busy worrying about homeless people having dignity. And let me say this now. I went to church on Sunday. My wife sings in the choir and praise band, joint. All right. And I talked to a bunch of people. And I said, would you give dignity to the homeless? You know what they told me? No. Does the homeless give, again, and I said this last week on Ralph's Opinion Local, which you can watch on my YouTube channel. And I'm still looking for 24 more subscribers to make 200, while others are making 5,000. And half of these people can't even talk. And they got 5,000 views. But Ralph can't get 200. Check it out. Okay? Check it out. About the homeless, about the Sherrod thing, Ralph's Opinion Local last week. And this coming Wednesday will be my last show of Ralph's Opinion Local because I have the Ralph Williams show and I have this the way we see it or the way I see it sometimes. So I'm getting rid of Ralph's Opinion Local. I don't get that many views for it anyway, so no use in me keeping it on. Okay? I've removed the Bible Capsule from Sundays until the beginning of next year. We're going to focus on praise in January. I did that for a reason. Only get 5 views, maybe 6, 7. That's it. Okay? All right? And I know what you're saying. Ralph, you're crying spilled milk here. No, I'm not crying spilled milk. It's a fact of reality. All right? The fact of reality is that you would rather hear somebody talk with marbles in their mouth and put 5,000 views up for them or 10,000 or 8,000 or whatever. But here I am. I put on a show. I put a lot of effort into my shows. I have a lot of good content. And what do? You don't view the show or you don't like it. And then I ask you to come on mailbag to tell me what you don't like. And you don't do that either. It's RalphWilliams737@gmail.com. I get criticism here all the time. Here's one here from Chuck. Chuck in Brookline. Ralph, why are you always on Mayor Gainey? I'm on Mayor Gainey because Mayor Gainey's not doing his job. Mayor Gainey's discord from city council. He's disconnected. Okay? And I know he's done some good things and he's got some people in his administration that don't belong, that have no idea what they're doing. Okay? Some people can bake a cake in the city of Pittsburgh and some people can't. Some people can run the city and some people can't. Some people can mow lawns, some people can't. Some people can talk on a microphone like I can, and some people can't. But you would rather view the person who can't talk on a mic real good, other than me. Okay? All right. November 16th, I'm getting an achievement award for media. It'll be presented to me in Plumboro at the VFW. And I'm glad that they're this achievement. I'm getting this achievement award because I've earned it. This has been a tough sledding for me. And media is not easy. I've said that many times. It's a backstabbing business. But what I find is when I do things here on social media, I have a lot of friends that do podcasts. I've got friends in the media, and I have enemies in the media. I have people that don't like me because I tell it like it is about how they are, which isn't good. Okay? And I'm not saying I'm the best thing in the world since sliced bread. I think I put on good material here. I think I tell it like it is. I think I tell it the way I see it. I think I tell it like that. I don't know what I'm doing wrong not to get people to view. Okay? All right. We have a new segment here we're starting on the way we see it. It's called It Affects Your Health. I've had some issues with appointments. Took me months to find somebody, a podiatrist for my feet. Dental. Bill explained earlier about dental. He's having issues getting appointments to get teeth pulled or whatever. My caregiver, he had to spread out his treatment or when he was getting done with his teeth, he had to spread it out for a month because the doctor so booked up or the dentist that he couldn't do the whole thing at one time. Okay. All right. So you think about that for a moment. It affects your health as well as mine. With the pharmacies backed up because Rite Aid closes, CVS closes, Walgreens closes. Backed up, backed up, backed up. Take forever to find something. Because of my diabetes, I take Monjaro. Hard to find it. I had to go, my pharmacist couldn't find it for 2 months. I had to go to where my medical center is, where I go for my doctor's appointments, to their pharmacy to get it. Because nobody had it but them. Okay? All right? Believe it or not, and I blame this current administration, the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden administration, we still have a supply chain problem. We have a work ethic problem in this country. That's the kind of problems we have. And you know what? I'm not telling you how to vote. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you vote for. I'm voting for Donald Trump because Donald Trump's the only person I think that can fix this country the way it needs to be fixed. And it was said tonight, because I was watching the preview into his rally tonight on YouTube. And I got to say, the woman that was on, I think she was with CNN or one of these news outlets. Because, he's here in Pittsburgh speaking at the Pittsburgh or at the PPG Paints Arena. All right. And so she said Donald Trump is the only president that she's ever seen in her lifetime that has ever actually physically gone to 3-4 cities per day to speak. He was in Raleigh this morning, went to Reading this afternoon. Now he's here in Pittsburgh. And then he has to go to Flint or Michigan for a 9:30 rally. This guy is covering the nation. Kamala Harris is showing up and putting on concerts. Because you know why? She has nothing to say. You remember this. The people that had the floods down in Florida got mistreated. The immigrants that keep coming in here illegally. Illegally now. I'm not against the ones that are legal. Think about that when you go outside and they rob your business or something. You think about that once. The progressive Democrats, what the examples that I have given on this program about them that have ruined this county, this city, and this country. Okay? With this is exactly why I say your health is affected. And now there's a supply chain problem to where there are certain things you can't get now. And if you do, you got to pay double to get it. That's the supply chain problem that should have been fixed after COVID. Okay? That should have been fixed, and it wasn't. That's why I have this segment, It Affects Your Health. I want examples from you as to how something has affected your health that was of negligent proportion. Did you go to the hospital and then get the right nursing care? Why? Because they don't have enough nurses. Why? Because nobody wants to work. Okay? What does that do? That affects your health. It affects mine. What happens when your dentist, your favorite dentist that you want to go to for your teeth, and you can't go now because he had to retire? Been doing dentist work for 40 years. Has to do his clerical work, answer his phone, has to do dental work, can't get nothing done because he's got to do all that because nobody wants to work. You remember when your dog is sick and you can't get an appointment at a vet clinic and the dog dies, that affects your health. You know why? That affects your health of you and your family and your kids. That all affects your health. Okay? Do you see what I see? Because what I see is a disaster. All right? Businesses involving entertainment. That's the way I see it tonight. But wait to hear this one. 6 months. I called a couple people who already ran out of their budget for marketing and advertising. And since I moved my sports program, and now I'm doing my Ralph Williams show on the radio, on the answer 1250 AM and 92.5 FM. Okay. Now that I'm doing them shows on Saturday, they air on Saturday. The Ralph Williams show airs from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and Sports Corner from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. Instead of where I was before at Beaver County Radio. You get better signal, better options, more things you can do with it. I upload it on my website. I can upload it onto social media if I need to. If you didn't watch it or catch it that day. All right? Excuse me. It's Sports Corner is already making waves, and we're only into show number 5. And it's already making great waves. Okay? Ralph Williams show's going to make waves too. Okay? This show here is a popular show. All right? But what I'm saying to you is this. And that is, businesses are struggling out here. And I called this one, and I'm not going to mention its name. And I said to them, I'm calling you up to see if you'd be interested. I have new rates for advertising. I'm on a better station. And I offer the 6 podcasts here. I offer the website to put your business on a little business card like thing up on the website, kind of like this. And I'll show you. I'll give you an example because we're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studios. There you go. See, something like that. Okay. Now you have all these entities that I offer at a low price. My phone hasn't rang. That's number 1. Number 2, I found out something interesting that in the last 6 months, entertainment places are struggling. This place that I spoke to is an entertainment place. Okay? And they're struggling. He said he hasn't made money in the last 6 months. They're not booking parties. They're not coming to bowl. They're not coming to do the go-karts. They're not coming for any of that. Talk to manager friend at Dave & Buster's. They're struggling. Okay? The arcade place is struggling. The bowling alleys are struggling. They're closing early because of this election. You think about that one time when you go to polls tomorrow. About everything I just said here. Now, if I had what I'm doing right now during the Trump administration the first time, I'd have advertisers ringing my phone off the hook to where it wouldn't stop because they'd be making money. Nobody's spending right now because they can't afford to spend. That's number 1. And number 2, no one's spending because of this election. Everybody gets in an uproar. Oh, the election's here. Oh, I don't spend money. I can't spend money. I have to watch. I have to be careful. I know some people. I listen to some talk shows around here. I'm not going to mention their names or anything else. And this talk show host brought up the fact that him and his daughter and his wife went to a restaurant last year for the same thing that they ordered this year. They only paid $17 for the three of them for what they ordered. This year it was $33. That's with the tax. And if you in the city of Pittsburgh and you go to a McDonald's or you go to Burger King or you go to Wendy's or you go to any of those places and you ask for a paper bag, you have to pay 10 cents. Okay? You have to pay 10 cents for a paper bag. Now, some people will tell you that's a tax. And they're probably right. It could be a tax. Okay? Just might be a tax. But it's a hidden tax. With all that, it was $33. Paid $17 last year. $17. It's $33. Almost half more than what it was before. Don't say I told you so, because I just did. 3 people, same guy, same person, 3 people went to Applebee's. His daughter's 6 years old, his wife and him. $60 plus the tip. You're down, what, $75 to eat at Applebee's now. I went to Eaton Park with my mom and my wife and my little niece. Now, fortunately for us, we waited an hour and a half for our food, so they gave our food out for free. If I would have ordered everything that was ordered, it would have been $90. You catch what I'm saying now? At Eaton Park, back in the day, one person could eat a meal and not pay no more than $10. Okay? Go to a Wendy's one time, get a burger and a fries and a Coke. RXJ says, hello, Ralph. Hello, RXJ. Okay, I want to thank Mike Price, who was on a little earlier here. Diggs, BTW1. All right. Thank you for being part of the show. Inflation, economy. I just gave you an example right here. The entertainment sector in this, at least in this area here in Western Pennsylvania, is not making any money. 6 months, this guy told me. And he told me, call me next year because I'll be able to help you. My advertising budget starts over in January. And for what I charge, it's a bargain compared to what all these other entities are charging for advertising. Okay? Fast food is so bad. You got Wendy's shutting things down. They're going to shut down 140. And I'm saying 140 restaurants across the country that are non-performing. Okay? Yeah. RXJ said fast food is expensive now. Fast food is supposed to be fast, and yet they always screw up my order. Yeah, there's another thing I've spoken about how many times. Remember when they used to have the rallies for $15 an hour? Went to Wendy's yesterday. Asked for a burger with cheese. I got a burger with no cheese. And you want $15 an hour. You see my point? Paid what? It was just for my wife and I, $30 almost. I didn't even order that much. You catch my drift? So when you go vote tomorrow, you remember what I said. And you figure out who you're going to vote for. Because I already told you who I'm going to vote for. And you already know. Okay? Thank you, RXJ, for your comment. You see what I'm saying? TGI Fridays is bankrupt. Because you got Applebee's out there, you got that Twin Peaks who screwed me over. They got half girls with or nipples sticking out or whatever they do there. It's almost like a Hooters. You got all these places, all right, but TGI Fridays is left out in the wind. Red Lobster filed for bankruptcy because they made stupid decisions. Denny's is starting to cut back on restaurants. Their menu's already condensed. Okay? So when you go to the ballot box tomorrow, remember what I told you. Okay? And you hear this rhetoric on the TV and the radio about Donald Trump's for his millionaire friends. Donald Trump's already rich. Donald Trump is 78 years old. Why would he screw Social Security? He collects it himself. You think about that for a minute. What Donald Trump has said many, many times at his rallies, and if you pay attention to his rallies, which you can catch on YouTube, he said, I never said that there would be a national law about abortion. I was leaving it up to the states. He did the same thing with COVID, which I thought was a mistake because here in Pennsylvania, we had Dictator Wolf and Rachel Levine. Okay? And now our state health person is Deborah Bogan, who was the Allegheny County Health Department secretary or supervisor or whatever the heck she was, who was another one that was barking orders during COVID. Oh, you can't go out without a mask, or you can't go here, you can't stay open there. No. Then we elect the governor who was part of that, who, when he was Auditor General, shut down small businesses because they didn't follow the COVID laws. We're in a national pandemic, which we didn't step up and do because we were scared. Not 9/11, we weren't scared, but this we were. All right. Tonight's show is dedicated to Aiden Myers, my friend Bill Cannata, and co-host here. It's his daughter. It's his grandson who died because he was murdered at 2 years old. Okay. Didn't really have much chance for a life. Okay. He's up with the Lord now. Tonight's show's dedicated to him. Today's his birthday. All right. We're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studio, 724-2010-500. All right. You think about that tomorrow when you go to the polls. Think about Donald Trump has been out here campaigning on his own. He doesn't need Bill Clinton. He doesn't need Barack Obama. He doesn't need any of these people. He's been out doing it on his own. Sometimes I don't like some of the rhetoric that he does. Okay? But I think he's the best candidate to fix this country. All right? The best candidate. DraftNation.com. Get on their website today. They handle all different types of sports drafts, including NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, and more. All right. Just some announcements here. Tomorrow, 4 to 5 p.m. Sports Corner Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier. We'll break down the Steelers' upcoming opponent, the Washington Commanders. We'll talk about that debacle and disgrace of a pick game. And we'll talk about Penn State losing to Ohio State again. And my guest at 4 o'clock will be Matt Bensel from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, who covers the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll talk. We got college football, NFL games, whole lot more going on tomorrow, including we'll talk about the Pirates, some good news there, bad news for the Riverhounds. We'll talk all that tomorrow, 4 to 5 p.m. right here on your social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch platforms. All right. And then I have Justin Woolace coming on tomorrow. He's another independent wrestler that I try to have on every single week. I try to get an independent wrestler on Wrestle Talk, 5 to 6 p.m. with me, Ralph Williams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier on your same 3 platforms. I'm working on getting Bubba Brewer on from the Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. Okay. We'll talk tomorrow about the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, which was very, very interesting, by the way, because I'm getting ready to get off here now to go watch Raw for WWE. We exclusively get into some wrestling topics tomorrow as well. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, Ralph's opinion. We'll talk some national issues, talk about the election, what happened, the results, some of the results, if we can get what we can, and a bunch of national issues. 8 o'clock, the last Ralph's Opinion Local. We're done. No more. Not a lot of views. Well, I had one show that made 30 views. Beyond that, I've had 10, 12. Last week was 12. And you can watch the archive versions on my YouTube channel. Okay? So I'm done with that show. I can take an hour break before I go into my roundtable in Detroit with Jeremy Ballrick and the gang on the Kneecap Biting Network and Huddle Sports Network. NFL roundtable 9 until about 10 o'clock. We talk NFL. We break games down. It's a big, nice roundtable. And then possibly at 10:30, I haven't been on for a while with Peter Blake and Turnbuckle Talk. We talk professional rep. We talk WWE, AEW, and much more. That's Wednesday. Thursday, I'm on South Florida Tribune Network with Candy Ebling and Jeremy Ballrick, the South Florida Tribune. It's called Fire Up. I'm on that show as well. Once in a while, Scott Morganroth gets involved in it. The government failed us. They left hundreds of thousands of small businesses die. A lot got laid off. We lost our rights for a few months. Yeah. Because Kamala Harris is too busy out here calling Donald Trump names. Did nothing when she was a vice president. Joe Biden, well, who knows what he's doing? I don't think he even knows what he's doing. Okay? I made the cardinal mistake, and I always admit when I'm wrong. I voted for him. Because at the time when Donald Trump's first term, I thought he was acting like a third grader. And I will give him credit because he has acted a whole lot better than he did the first time he ran for president. And he's doing a whole lot more of what he says he's going to do. And when he says he's going to do something, he does it. Okay? All right. Thank you again, RXJ, for your comments. I'm Ralph Williams. This has been The Way We See It. Bill was on with me for the first hour. And I want to thank you for the comments. We need a better economy, exactly. We need to focus on 4 countries: North Korea, Russia, China, and Iran. And if we don't focus on them, which Donald Trump will, we don't get this war over in Ukraine before our country goes bankrupt. Donald Trump will fix that. Okay? Remember, Kamala elected, Donald Trump's going to fix it. I'm Ralph Williams for Bill Cannata. Thank you for being part of the show, and thank you for watching. Have a great night.